Welcome to Maths Minders Academy. Today we are going to look at the solution to WAEC 2024 objective paper. This video we are going to concentrate on providing solution to question number 1 to question number 10, and we are going to create more videos that we explore the solution to 11, question 11 to 20, 21 to 30, until we exhaust the 50 questions. Now, I want us to make the best use of this tutorial video. And how best can we use this tutorial video? Solutions are provided and the questions are projected. So what learners are meant to do is to proceed to a particular question, pause the video, look at the question, solve it first before you compare your solution with our solution. So when you solve it first, you get your solution. Then you watch the video and you look at our solution and then compare with what you have. In that way, you will be getting the best out of the tutorial video. And where you make mistake, our own solution will be a guide to help you correct your mistake. Having this in mind and hoping that you are going to get the best from our video, we proceed to question number 1. Question number 1, we are asked to multiply 3.4 times 10 raised to power minus 5 by 7.1 times 10 raised to power 8 and leave the answer in standard form. So first we look at 3.4. we are going to multiply by 7.1. And since this is objective, we are allowed to use calculator. This will give us 24.14. Now, this answer, we are going to write it in standard form. What it means is we are going to move this point forward one step forward, and that will give us 2.414. Because we move it one step, we move it behind one step behind, so it's going to be times 10 raised to power 1. If we move it forward, it will be minus 1. So we have written it in standard form. Now the next is to multiply 10 raised to power minus 5 by 10 raised to power 8. Using the law of indices, this gives us 10 raised to power minus 5 plus 8. Now, minus 5 plus 8 is 3. So it means now that our solution will turn out to be 2.414 times 10 raised to power 1, then times 10 raised to power 3. This becomes 2.414 times 10 raised to power 1 plus 3. Still using the law of indices. And finally, this gives us 2.414 times 10 raised to power 4. Now, when we look at the option, you agree with me that option C matches with the final answer. So option C is the correct answer. Now let's proceed to the next question. We'll move on to question number 2. So question number 2 says, given that P is a set of numbers between 1 and 20 and P is an integer, meaning that P is a whole number, and R is a set of numbers between 0 and 25, and R is multiple of 4. Now we have to do for P intersection R. You will understand that. Let's go back to the set again so that we can properly define them. If you look at R, the notation used for R in that interval is less than or equal to, meaning that the numbers 0 and 25 are inclusive. That is, if actually they are multiples of 4, then they are going to be element of the set that we will consider as the set of multiples of 4. But when we go to set P, the numbers 1 and 20 are not going to be included as element because P is strictly greater than 1 and less than 20. So single inequality symbol is used. So now that we understand those intervals that define set P and set R, let's go straight to look at what their element would look like. We are going to bring out all the elements of P as well as elements of R. And then we'll now find those elements that are common that will give us the intersection. So let's proceed. So we can write P. We are looking for numbers between 1 and 20, but 1 and 20 will not be there, but they are whole numbers, integers. So we will pick 2, 3, 4, 5 is there, 6, and so on and so forth. And we will stop at 19 because 19 is less than 20. Then let's look at elements of set R. It's going to be multiples of 4 between 0 and 25. So 4 is a multiple of 4. 8 is a multiple of 4 because 4 times 2 is 8. 12 is a multiple. 4 times 3 is 12. 16 is a multiple. 20 is a multiple. 24 is a multiple. Multiples of 4 are those numbers that 4 can actually fully divide without having remainder. Now we've seen all the elements of P and we have seen all the elements of R. Now we are going to look at P intersection R. That will give us elements that are actually in P, like this element here is here. That's an intersection. Now let's look at 8. 8 is an element, so 8 is also a number that is less than 20. 12 is there. We are going to pick 16 is there. So when we pick this intersection now, remember, if we list all the elements of P, numbers from 2 to 19, we are going to see 8. We are going to come across 12. We are going to come across 16. So when we pick the intersection now, we have 4. We have 8. We have 12. And we have 16. So if we look at that now, that is going to give us, look at the options 4, 8, 12, 16. That is option B. That means for this solution, this is the correct option. So we'll proceed to question number 3. Question number 3. The first term of an arithmetic progression AP is 2 and the last term is 29. If the common difference is 3, how many terms are in the AP? So here let's pick up what we are given. We are told that the first term of an AP is A, and A is 2. The last term, let's call the last term L, and that's 29. The common difference D is given as 3. But now let's define the last term of an AP. It is A plus bracket M minus 1 multiplied by D. This is the last term. So bringing that up, it means that 29 which is the last term, the same as you substitute a 2 for a. So n is what we are looking for, and our common difference is 3. So here we have 29 equals 2 plus, use 3 to open this bracket, that's 3n minus 3. So we have 29, let's collect all the like terms, minus 2 plus 3 equals 3n. So here, what we have is 30 this side. And what do we have here? 3n. So we divide both sides by the coefficient of n, which is 3. So here n is 10, and n is actually the number of terms in this AP. So if we go and check the options now, you see that option C is the correct option. So we'll proceed to question number 4. Question number 4, we are asked to express in index form log x base a plus log y base a equals 3. Now, we need to understand this. Let's take note of this. We need to note that if we have log a base a plus log b to the same base a, is going to give us log ab base a. Now, using this law of logarithm above, it means that log x base a plus log y base a is going to give us log xy base a. Again, we need to note also we need to note this, that if log a base b equals c, then it means that a is equals to b raised to power c. Now, this law of logarithm helps us to convert logarithm to an index. It's a way of turning logarithm and putting it in index form. And since what we are doing here, what we are asked to do here is to move it to an index form, we are going to have log xy base a that is equal to 3 is equal to 3. Therefore, it means that xy is equal to a raised to power 3 using that idea. So that will be the final answer. And if we come here, we look at option D to be the option that matches with this answer. We proceed to question number 5. Now, this question number 5, we are asked to simplify 2p minus q all raised to power 2 minus open bracket p plus q close bracket raised to power 2. Now, this expression here is in the form of a very popular algebraic expression in mathematics. Look at this. If we are given, remember this principle, call it difference of 2 squared. If s squared this is what we are given, s squared minus y squared is x plus y, x minus y. Note, let's call this, let's say notes. This is very important. So it is this that we will use to simplify what we are given. So now we can say let x represent 2p minus q and let y represent p plus q. So it means that what we are going to have when we say x squared minus y squared is actually going to give us s represents 2p minus q, then plus y represents p plus q. Then the next s represents 2p minus q, then minus represents p plus q. So this, if we open this bracket now, we have 2p plus p, that's 3p. Now, if you look at this bracket, some interesting things will happen. This minus q and plus q will cancel out. So giving us, we have 2p plus p, that will give us 3p. Then that is the whole of this first bracket. Now, the second bracket, we still have 2p minus q. Now let's use this minus to open that bracket, and this is what it will give to us. Now this becomes 3p. This is 2p minus p, it gives us p, and this is minus q, it gives us minus 2q. So this will be the final answer. I will now go to the option to look for the one that matches with this, 3p open bracket p minus 2q, 3p open bracket p minus 2q. So we see that option A is the correct one for this question. So this is correct. We proceed to question number 6. Question 6 is sword. So we want to multiply those two sword. The first bracket, 3 minus 4 root 2. We use it to multiply 1 plus 3 root 2 and put it in the form a plus b root 2, and then move on to find the value of b. So we have 3 minus 4 root 2 multiplied by 1 plus 3 root 2. Now this is, we use this 3 to multiply all the elements of this second bracket, and we use minus 4 root 2 to multiply all the elements of this second bracket. So this will give us 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 3 is 9, and then we have root 2. 4 root 2 times 1 is 4 root 2. Minus times plus is minus. 4 root 2 times 3 root 2, that will give us 12 root 4. Of course, root 2 times root 2 is root 4. Now, let's move on. We have 3. Here, 9 root 2 minus 4 root 2 will give us 5 root 2. Then minus 12, of course, root 4 is 2. Square root of 4 is 2. So we have 3 plus 5 root 2, then minus 24. 12 times 2 is 24. So this gives us 3 minus 24 is minus 21 plus 5 root 2. Now, compare with what is given, a plus b root 2. You will discover here that the number here that is joined together with root 2 is 5, and it's going to be the value of b. So here b is 5. We go to the option and we see that option A is the correct option. So this is the correct option, and we mark it and then proceed to the next question. So this is the correct one. We proceed to question number 7. Question number 7, we asked to find the time for which $1,250 will amount to $2,031.25 at 12.5% per annum simple interest. Now, we know that amount, you need to know that amount, which is A, okay, let's write it out. Amount is principal plus interest. So we can say as a formula, A is P plus I. Now here, A is the amount realized, which is 2,031.25. Then the investment, which is the principal amount invested, is $1,250. Okay, whereas the interest here is actually principal times rate times time over 100, which will give us 1,250 times, okay, we don't know the time. They ask us to find the time, so we don't know the time. The rate is 12.5 times, we put time all over 100. Okay, now if we multiply out, what we are going to get there is this very part is going to give us, this part is going to give us 156.25 T. That's what it will give to us. Then we are going to now do something following what we have here. We're now going to say 2031.25 equals 1 equals principal. Principal is 1,250 and plus 156.25 T. Okay, so what you do now, you take 231.25, then minus 1,250. This will give us 156.25 T. Okay. Now let's proceed. We discover that these two here, this subtraction here, is going to result to 781.25. So we have 781.25 equals 156.25t. So we are going to divide by the coefficient of t, which is 156.25. When we do that, we are going to have 781.25 over 156.25 equals to t. So here t is going to come out as 5, which is 5 years. So we now look at the option and we discover that option D is the right option for this very question. So, believing that you understand this, we are going to proceed to question number 8. Question number 8, we are given log 2s minus 1 base 3 equals 5. We are asked to find the value of s. Now, we are going to use this law note. Let's highlight this. If log a base b equals c, then a equals b raised to power c. Now, with this in mind, we are giving log 2x minus 1 base 3 equals 5. It means that 2x minus 1 is going to be 3 raised to power 5. 2x minus 1, of course, 3 raised to power 5 is going to give us 243. You can use your calculator. Then we collect like terms. This will give us 243 plus 1. 2x is going to give us 244. We divide now by 2. Both sides by 2 is going to give us 244 over 2. And that gives us 122. So we go to the option, go and look for the one that corresponds with T. That's option D. So we proceed. Question number 9. The population of a town increases by 3% every year. In the year 2000, the population was 3,000. Find the population in the year 2003. That is 3 years after. Now we are going to use this formula. This formula for compound interest. Okay, this is what we have. Multiplying by time. So now here we have this A now is going to represent the new population. This P is going to be the old population. So this is going to be they say we should find the new population, so we don't know this. Then this is the old population, which was 3,000. And then let's see another thing. We know our rate to be 3%, and we know our time to be 3 years. Our time is 3 years. So we put all this together. We are looking for the new population. That gives us 3,000. So we have 1 plus 3 all over 100. This raised to power 3. That's 3,000 into, if we use calculator, this is going to give you 1.03 raised to power 3. If we multiply this together, it's going to give us 32 3278.181, 3278.181. Of course, since its population of humans, we need to use whole number to represent this population. So we are going to take the whole number part, which is 3,278. So this is the population that we are required to find, and that will be the population in the year 2003. 3,278. It matches with option B. So that's option B. So we proceed to question number 10. Question number 10. A trader gave a change of 540 naira instead of 570 naira to a customer. Calculate the percentage error. Now, this is the formula for percentage error. That will give us error over the actual amount times 100%. So here, let's get the error. The error is, it gave 540 instead of 570, so the error is 570 minus 540, and that gives us 30 naira. So actual, let's get the actual amount. It was supposed to give 570, but it gave 540, so the actual amount is 570. So let's now go and calculate percentage error. That will give us error over the actual, which is 570 times 100%. So this is going to give us this. If we look at this, some things we cancel out. Here, this and this we cancel out. So this will give us 300. 3 times 100 is 300 all over 57. Of course, if you look at it, 3 can still divide, that is 100. 3 can go in 57. We have 3 in 5, we have 1. Remember 2 in 27, so we have 100 over 19. And if you look at 100 over 19, is actually going to give us 5 whole number, 5 over 19. Percent. If you turn this improper fraction to a mixed number, use 19 to divide 100. It will go 5 times. It will go 5 times, and then we are left with 5 over 19. So that is actually what we have as the result. So we look at which one of them is able to match with our answer. If we look at it, the options, 5 over 19, that is option A. Option A, that's the correct option. So this is how far we go in this video. Thank you very much for your endurance as we walk through question number 1 to question number 10. We implore you to be with us in our next video, where we will be looking at answers to question number 11 to 20. Be there with us. If you find this video impactful, please click the notification bell, like the video, share and subscribe to our channel. This is Math Minders Academy. See you in our next class.
blue